What up, what up? Welcome people to another video on the channel. Welcome to the new Ferrari F8 Tributo added in Horizon 5. So, if you guys wanted to get this car yourselves, get 20 points in this week's hot season in spring. Just do some random stuff, get the 20 points and you get the Ferrari F8. This is obviously a successor to the Ferrari 488. It uses pretty much the same engine setup, I'm pretty sure it has the same engine. Same layout, same everything. It's turbocharged. It looks so good. It is a oh, there I go. I'm not paying attention while I'm driving. It's a beautiful looking car. So I think it's a great replacement to the 488, which obviously replaced the 458. So this design here goes all the way back to the 458, which I think is one of the best Ferraris that they've ever made, in my opinion. It's just so good. It sounds amazing. And it looks great. And obviously the looks department have just improved over time, making this thing even more extreme and even nicer looking than the 458. However, I can't say that about the sound. The sound of this thing sucks. In real life and in game. I feel like in game it's even worse because it's in a game, you know, so you don't have the same bass lines, the same everything. It's just not the same hearing the car in game versus hearing it in real life. But trust me, even in real life, this thing just doesn't sound great. It sounds pretty much identical to the Ferrari 488, which I've heard a few times. Obviously, I haven't seen an F8 on the road yet. But it's pretty much the same sort of stuff that's happening with the 488. Because it's turbocharged and because of all these, you know, sound limits and everything that you know, manufacturers have to put in their cars. It's just annoying. The cars just sound worse. They just do. I don't know. For whatever reason, the exhaust setup on these Ferraris, they just don't sound good. So I think that's one thing that I really want to change. However, the one thing that I absolutely love about this car, and it's what the car, what the SF90 in my opinion should have been like, is like this car. It's such a good driving car. It's so much fun to drive. I'll bring it uphill here, on the Cara Este, like, I guess mountain pass thing. But I don't want to drift it. I don't want to just go around drifting this thing. I want to drive this thing. And just to show you how good this car actually drives. Again, this is the layout, the mid-engine rear-wheel drive layout instead of the mid-engine all-wheel drive like the SF90 that we've had. So it's beautiful and brilliant to drive. 711 horsepower, 770 Newton meters of torque. Only weighs 1,466 kilos. Again, the same 3.9 liter V8 that's in the 488, and then obviously it's just tuned to make more power. I'm guessing there's a lot of different changes that they've made to the car itself to be able to be pretty much the same as or sorry, not to be the same, but to be different than the 488 GTB, which as you can see has like 100 less horsepower pretty much. Yeah, like I said, it all stems from the 458. Obviously this one is a bit tuned and a bit different, but yeah, obviously the engine's different. This had a 4.5 liter V8 which screamed and it sounded so good. Obviously this one going down to a 3.9 liter V8. But yeah, the SF90, which I'm pretty sure again has the same sort of engine layout, same sort of engine configuration, except obviously it's tuned more and it's a hybrid setup as well. This thing sucked to drive. It was bad because it was mid-engine, it was all-wheel drive, it was heavy. It just wasn't good to drive. But this is a totally different beast. It's less power, obviously. It doesn't have the 1,000 horsepower engine in it. It probably will once I'm done with it. But it's so agile. The front end is super light. It darts into corners. I love the look of this thing. It's such a good looking car. Interior and exterior. Because it's all like a modern version of the 458's interior. And like I said, I love the 458. I love the new wheels as well the Ferrari are using. They look fantastic. The sound is just letting this thing down so much though. Let me turn the radio off. It's got a lot of torque. It's got a lot of torque for a Ferrari. Especially a V8 Ferrari. Oh, Oh, it's so nice to drive, man. It's so good. This is what a Ferrari should drive like. Even in game, like there's a noticeable difference between like something like this and the SF90, which is just all-wheel drive. It just drives so poorly. Stock. I expected so much more from that car. Obviously, the reason why I'm comparing it to the SF90 is because we've got it recently and we got to test it out and drive it and see what it's like. And I just wasn't a fan of it. The gear changes are so fast. Even the oversteer in this thing is so easily controllable. This is on stock tires. This is stock everything. Ooh, going a little bit too fast here. It's okay. Still didn't crash. But everything's manageable. It's just fast. It's just fast. And fun. And super predictable. Easy to control. Like I said, the front end is nice and light. It pushes itself out of corners really nicely. There's no understeer. There's a touch of oversteer depending on how much you accelerate when you're accelerating out of corners and how good or bad your throttle control is, but it's just so nice. I think now what we should do is give this thing the power that the SF90 has, but keeping it mid-engine and rear-wheel drive and seeing what that is like afterwards. I'm not going to put any sort of Forza aero on this thing, which it's going to make this faster, right? Obviously it's going to make it a lot faster around corners with all the Forza stuff added onto this thing, because obviously it's going to add like a huge amount of downforce. But the main thing that I want to change on this car is the exhaust. I think the exhaust is going to change this thing, the way it sounds anyway. It's going to change it dramatically. Or drastically, I guess is the correct word. It's a brilliant car to drive. Brakes are great as well. I can't believe that technically the baby Ferrari is making 700 horsepower. That's ridiculous to me. That is ridiculous that this guy is making that much power. Okay, I'm done. Let's bring it over to the festival. Let's start modifying this thing. I mean, we're Forza after all, so we might as well. Right, let's have a look here. What we got going on. Engine swap, I guess we could put the LaFerrari engine in it. Oh, we can also put the Racing V12 in it as well. But yeah, there's the LAF engine. Not even going to touch that at all. Again, this is probably just going to be, yeah, it's all just Forza parts. This is, like I said, definitely going to make it faster around corners because of the extra downforce that's going to be available for this thing. But I'm going to keep the standard engine in this thing. I'm going to give it some slick tires, racing tires as well, 285s and 345s. As for the wheels, I kind of want to change the wheels. I feel like we should do with a nice little setup, nice little change of these wheels. ADV ones always look quite good. Those though, there we go. Something like this maybe will look kind of good. Not really a huge selection of wheels that would look great on the Ferrari, in my opinion, in this game. I think Ferrari wheels are just special on their own. Like, they just have their own unique styling, which I think it just suits the cars really, really well. If I go and I change to something aftermarket, I don't think it'll look as good as the original Ferrari wheels. I will change them though. I think the original ADV1 wheel, or not the original ADV1 wheels, but the first ones at the very top of this list are probably the ones that will suit this car the best, right? I don't think there's many more on this list that I could possibly put on a Ferrari like this and be like, yeah, I'm happy with those wheels. You know what I mean? So there's not many here that I'd be able to put on and consider, you know, good looking wheels for a Ferrari. Like, a lot of these are just way too aftermarket for me. ADV ones just always make some solid looking wheels for supercars and hypercars, so I like those. So I'm gonna keep those on. Even the bronze actually doesn't even look too bad on this red paint. I don't really mind it at all, to be honest with you. We could change the 21 inches on the front. We could actually do like a little staggered offset like this. So it's no, it doesn't look that great. Doesn't actually look that great. After looking at both of them from the side, changing some of this stuff. Racing transmission, obviously this is just get this thing to change gears faster. It's gonna be a 7-speed, so I'm gonna just leave it as a 7-speed. I think it's fine. As for diff, gonna put race diff on it. We can adjust that anyway. Race springs and dampers. Obviously, you can put drift suspension on this thing, but don't really care about drifting this car, to be honest with you, at the moment. We'll have a look. I really want to see the stats after we get done with this thing. And then now, like I said, just pile on the power and see where we go from the standard setup here. Wait, I want to see what the exhaust sounds like. So this is standard. Obviously, it revs a little higher because I've changed the cams on it. Why doesn't it sound like the stock, man? Oh, that sounds so much better. That sounds infinitely better, man. It's so good. Actually, I don't really like the blow-off valve sound or whatever from these turbos. That squeakiness is just annoying. I mean, I'm gonna upgrade them just because it's gonna give us a lot more power, but what about the intake? Oh, that does change the sound. Okay, I think we're pretty much done, right? I've changed everything. Right, let's have a look at our setup now. 1080 horsepower, 1260 kilos. Very light now. Very, very light. It makes so much more power. Even our lateral G's went up by a lot. This should be a good car to drive. I guarantee this is going to be a really good car to drive. Right. Oh my god. Okay. Well, brakes traction very easy. This is what it's supposed to sound like. Oh, it sounds so good. Oh man, the grip is insane. The grip is crazy. Oh my god. What the hell? That is unexpected. That was heavily unexpected. I definitely did not expect that stick to, like... Oh my god, look how good it turns in. Jesus Christ. That's a fast car. That is so fast. Oh my god. Oh, this sounds so much nicer than before. That exhaust setup needs to be changed. Like, I think if you buy one of these in real life, surely you're not going to leave that exhaust stock. Go to like Novitec or something. And the way it revs so much higher, it just reminds me of the 458. 458 has a really high red line as well. These 3.9 liters have a much lower red line than the 458, but I think they have a little bit more torque with the twin turbo setup. I don't know. I don't think you can beat an NA Ferrari. This is lovely to drive. Absolutely brilliant. I'm going a bit too fast into some of these corners. Probably would need to change. If I change the setup, I think this thing could be an absolute rocket. I wonder though, if you put the wings on it, right? So the front splitter and the Forza rear wing, and you add all that downforce, will this thing go up into X class, or if it's the... Ooh. Okay, that's the first time it actually slipped from under me. That's pretty mad. You have 1,000 horsepower going through the rear wheels, and that's the first time it slips from under me. That is pretty crazy. So yeah, I can still go too fast into some of these corners. Oh man, Jesus. What's it like from the inside? Oh my god, this thing's a monster. Look at it building up speed though. Oh my, it's so fast. Oh god, I almost crashed into the X5. It is ridiculously fast. I actually really want to test that top speed of this thing. It's so well balanced. My god. It's really, really well balanced. I love mid-engine cars, man. I absolutely love them. They're so cool in real life and they're just so good in game. They handle so well. Here, I want to test out the top speed of this thing. Let's bring it on the highway. I just want to see. Alright, it says 260 something miles an hour, right? Let's just see with this thing. Let's have a look. Do a little yo-yo over here. Oh my god. What's more impressive to me is the acceleration. I've never been like too keen on top speed runs. I mean, what's the point? Like, how often are you going to be driving top speed? Like, I mean in real life, by the way. But it's just how fast you get to that top speed. That's how it's already there. It's already at 260. It's 420 kilometers per hour. Easy for this car. Easy. I haven't even touched any of the tune on this car at all. Like, this is just upgraded parts and that's it. What a car. What a car. Try it out for yourselves. Like I said, get into 20 points. This is a car that everybody can have. The Magnum that we tested out yesterday. It's a car past car, but this is a car that everybody can get, and I guarantee you'll enjoy it. You'll definitely enjoy driving this thing. Super, super fun car. That really light front end just shows in every corner. It just grips up so well. Brilliant, 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 brilliant car. I cannot say anything bad about this car. Seriously, I can't. Let's go a little sideways. Let's go a little wider. There we go. Maybe fourth. Trying to crash to the Beetle. There we go. You can see the lack of steering angle with the race suspension. You just don't have the same as the drift suspension. I bet this could actually be kind of fun to slide around with, but I'm not doing that in this video. If those turbos didn't sound like that, I think this would probably be even nicer to listen to. Yeah, it's nice. I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you everybody for watching a video on the Ferrari F8 Tributo. I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. Such a big contrast to the SF90 that we've had like not that long ago added into the game. It just is like on the opposite end of the spectrum. I love it. I didn't like the SF90. Just I didn't like the way it drove. It looks fantastic. It looks brilliant, and the performance is crazy. Like it's really, really fast in a straight line. But I just feel like in corners it's understeery and it feels heavy. So I don't really like that about it. This is nice though, really nice. That's it, everybody. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye, people.